Hi, my name's Stephen Leishman from UK Business Support Network. I'm one of the trainers that's going to be talking you through some of the modules for sales training. Just briefly, just to give you an idea of who I am and what I am and the person that's going to be delivering this course for you, what sort of experience have I had. I've been in sales for over 34 years. I started off selling slippers and trainers on Salford Market when I was 14 years old, so I was selling before I left school. And if I fast forward 34 years, I've worked for some major multinational conglomerates, developing their sales strategy and implementing those sales strategies across the globe. And that's both for even American companies and European companies as well. As a sales trainer, a lot of people say to me, well, if you're so good at training, then why don't you do it? Well, I actually have an engineering company beside of this, where I actually sell and represent brands for people every single day. So everything that you're going to learn about in the modules and in the course is everything that I do day to day. So I still cold call, I still prospect, I still manage my own accounts, so account management, I still deal with awkward customers. So everything that you're going to learn is current, because if you are going to be trained by somebody, I personally feel that you have to have some credibility behind you, and if you are good at what you're doing, then you should be able to make a living out of that. That aside, what are we going to cover in the course? Well, I've broken the course down into small modules for you so that you're able to pick in and out of what you want. In sales, you can never assume anything, so I can't assume that you've got 34 years sales experience, but I also can't assume that you've got no experience whatsoever. So there may be a broad array of people that come onto the membership program and want to dip into sales, and you can pick out the modules and the sections that you want. Now, you may want to do the full course, or you might want to just pick some elements of it. So over the last 3 years, I've been involved in a program called Boost Business Lancashire, and I've coached and mentored over 270 companies. All of those have helped with their sales process or increasing their sales with their companies. All of them are now growing. One of the big things that people come to me is they say to me things like, I've been in a meeting, I get on great with somebody, but I actually can't seem to close the deal, even though I get on great with somebody. So what that is looking at going back to some basic skills about what did they do before they went in the sales call, and what can we do to plan ahead of that, and what is the outcomes or what are objectives before they go in there. So I show you how to go about doing that, so that if you have a sales meeting with someone either on the phone or face to face, at least you're going to get something out of that call, and how do we move that along. Some of the skills that I'm going to give you are I've got to kind of take you back to basics. We will be running a more advanced course, but I can't assume that everybody knows everything. So I need to take you back to the basics. If you get these basics right and in place, and it's what I do every single day when I'm selling products for people, whether it's in the UK or anywhere in the world, I still rely on my basics to get me into those meetings and to move those sales along. So what am I talking about? First of all, I'm talking about people. You have to, a lot of people say, well, it's just people. Well, it is just people, but you have to understand, you're not just talking to a company, you're talking to a human being. So when you go into large conglomerates, whoever they may be, sometimes people forget that they're actually talking to a human being, and they almost feel that they're talking to the corporate entity that's before them, when in matter of fact, actually, you're talking to a human being. Some of the other things that people get is they get scared of CEOs and MDs, and yes, they can be daunting people sometimes, but I give you some hints and tips of how to deal with that and how to take that out of your mindset. I was like that when I first started, but I have some tips that I can give you on dealing with those situations. Listening is a big part of selling. You'll probably heard it thousands of times, but the more that you listen and the less that you keep this closed, the more effective your sales calls are going to be. So 80 or 90% listening is really, really important. So we go through some skills and different listening styles that you should adopt. Customers, ultimately we can't live with them, we can't live without them, we've got to have them. So I talk a lot about customers and different customer types, and what customer types are going to be right for you. Open questions. This is all about as the strapline for my company is we teach people to sell without selling, which is an unusual concept. But this is all about listening to the customer, effective questioning, so that you can gather information, understand the needs and the requirements of the customer, and then fit your offering around them. But we go through a whole section on that. Close questions, again, I teach you to close without closing, which is, again, an unusual concept, but it will work for you. So I give you subtle closing techniques that will allow you to get from point A in your deal to point B, which is the close, and I'll share those with you as we go through the course. Objection handling, which is really, really important, which a lot of people struggle with. I teach you some techniques for, and I'll share with you some trade secrets about how to handle objection handling. Buying signals, again, you've got to be careful with buying signals. When somebody wants to buy something from you, most of us are tempted to jump in and say yes. That's actually not the right thing to do, but I'll share that with you on the course. Use of silence as well. That's a really, really big thing that a lot of people take away from my courses, is when to keep your mouth closed and when not to open it. So you really want to be, it's a skill that you've got to really hone. You don't want to be jumping in and offering things that you shouldn't do, but we'll cover that during the module. Also pre-meeting planning, which we've spoken about. You know, when you're getting on great with somebody but you can't seem to get what you want out of the meeting, we go through a whole module on pre-meeting planning. That's face-to-face or over the phone. Also negative selling. I'll show you some negative selling techniques you may have been negatively sold to in the past, so I'll go through those with you. And I'll teach you some body language skills that would enable you to spot a buying signal just by looking at someone's body without them even saying a word. Non-verbal communication is a big part of selling, and when you recognise those communications, it will help you in your sales call. So that's what we're going to cover while we're in the modules. I hope you take advantage of, or you've taken advantage of the membership scheme. The modules are designed in small chunks, so what you can do is you can pick in and out of what you want. Some of them are either 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 15 minutes long. I'm not going to overcomplicate it for you. You can go away, you can try those, you can come back and you can try some more. And you can email me again or get a webinar set up and we can discuss those with you, because I'm here to help you. So dip in and out of what you want. You know, if you just want to do objection handling, that's fine. You can just do that module. Go away, try it in real time, come back, email us with some questions or things that you've had. So it gives you a real time experience about doing these webinars and doing the modules that you want. And I'm here to help you. My name's Stephen Leishman. I hope you've enjoyed this short trailer and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.